I'd like to talk to you today about one of the gorgeous new pieces on the grade 6 piano syllabus. There Was a Most Beautiful Lady, written by Herbert Howell in 1928 from a short set of pieces called A Country Pageant. We know him, of course, mostly for his choral and orchestral works. He didn't write very much for the piano. And I think a really good starting place there for anybody who fancied looking at this composition would be to really enter the sound world of Howell's and to listen to works by him as well as by people who influenced him. Notably, of course, Vaughan Williams. He was a great fan of Vaughan Williams's music, and I think we hear a lot of that influence in this beautiful piano piece. So I think listening through to the Lark Ascending actually would be a great place to start, as a lot of the time the right-hand melody here takes on some birdsong qualities and is very pastoral and a very beautiful, shapely line. So that could be a great listening place to start, as well as some of Howell's own other pieces. So, for example, I think I would have a listen through to the second movement of his second piano concerto, which again shows some influences and would help with harmonic thinking and so on. It's a really beautiful piece and very rewarding, and needs a firm sense of 3/time. Straight away at the start we move between 9/8 and 3/4, so our pupils really need to feel a grounded 3 in a bar. As well there that the importance of feeling that the right hand is very free and legato, and that we really focus on shaping and colouring the music from absolutely early doors in our learning of it, not waiting until the notes are perfected or the rhythms are understood, but really exploring the idea of shaping and lyricism straight away. That requires a quite nice free right hand in particular, so really looking at our pupils' posture and their arm freedom and weight, and helping them to explore fingering patterns. Of course there'll be suggestions in the copy. I always feel that those are a good starting place, but our job as teachers is to help our pupils to find something that fits comfortably into their hand and allows them to express the composer's wishes as easily as they can get. There are little scale patterns, for example, and so on that might just need tweaking. Also, looking at the pedalling will be a really good opportunity for allowing our pupils to effectively free up their ideas about pedalling. Some of this could do with some harmonic blurring. It's rather beautiful. In other places we'll need a very well controlled legato pedal to give a clarity, although a lovely warmth and depth of sound. But one of the hardest things I found is to convince pupils that there can be areas where there is no pedal at all and the music is allowed to sort of breathe a little bit more. In that first section that I just played, there's certainly room for all of those ideas. I'm using the pedalling suggestions in the copy as a good starting place, but I'm following them to the spirit rather than necessarily to the letter. That's a personal point of view, but I feel that that's a really important way to allow our pupils to feel that their decisions about pedalling are very much based on listening and responding to the music and exploring different ideas, trying different amounts of pedal, for example, or different places to change it. And I think for anybody who's anxious about pedalling at this sort of grade 5, grade 6, what a wonderful piece to allow them to really listen to the pedal and respond to the sounds that they're hearing. Of course, the other part of this piece then is its rhythmic challenges. As well as making beautiful sounds, of course, we've got to be accurate to the composer's wishes. He's very specific in his rhythmic writing here. As I mentioned, some of it is written in 9/8 and therefore has a sort of triplet feel, and in other areas we're dealing with a crotchet beat split into quavers and semiquavers and demi-semiquavers. So ideally we would work at getting a very precise sense of the rhythm before then allowing it to feel almost as if we're freeing that up and exploring a kind of idea of improvising with the right hand line. So I think a really good warm-up in a lesson could be just some rhythmic work, some oral rhythmic work, clapping with our pupils and trying to get them to copy the rhythmic ideas back to us. And that would actually help support understanding the notation, which can at times seem complicated. So I think having done all that, really it's about finding the nuts and bolts of the music, but all the time allowing our pupils to explore colour and shape within this beautiful piece. It's a very, very rewarding piece, and I'd highly recommend it for any pupil who really loves expressing themselves at the piano.